Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you clicked on today's video, you're awesome. And as you can see in today's title's video, we are going to be talking about my spooky reads that I'm hoping to get to this fall. And I know we're at the end of July, which means August is approaching, so without further ado, why not and go ahead and jump right on into spookiness, because we love a little spooky, what can I say? If my school friend doesn't tell you anything about spooky, then you're wrong. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the books that I want to try and get through. I have a whole nother shelf behind me with more of my spookies, but these are just the ones that I grabbed so I can do a video. So that is what we're going to do today. Alright, I don't know exactly what order I'm going to read these, but I do know I want to do it from September all the way towards the end of October. And if you don't already know, I do have a Hocus Pocus readathon that I'm hoping that I can put some of these books towards, which would be freaking perfect. And just, yes. And our Hocus Pocus readathons starts from October 1st for the entire month. So, we love that. So, let's go ahead and talk about the books, as I keep mentioning. Okay, the first one I have is The Sacrifice by Rin Shubio. She wrote the series, oh gosh, The Girl from the Well, but that's not the one that The Bone Witch. I'm pretty sure that's the right author. I did read those series and I really enjoy them. I haven't read anything else by her, but this cover just looks freaky and I'm honestly here for it. He offers the sacrifice, controls the god's eye, the first to feed, the second to see, the third to wear, the fourth to birth, the fifth to serve, the sixth to lure, the seventh to consume, the last to wake. Preston reaches luscious greenery and perfect weather. The island of Kesmetia would be the perfect vacation destination, if not for the curse. The Filipino locals speak of it in hushed voices and refuse to set foot on the island. They know the lives it has claimed. They won't be next. A Hollywood film crew won't be disaided. Legend claims a dreamer god sleeps waiting to grant unimaginable powers in exchange for 8 sacrifices. The producers are determined to document the evidence, and they convince Alon, a local teen, to be their guide. They were warned, they didn't listen. This sounds super good. Like, all of these books look super good. I've had for a little bit and I'm just like, we really need to get to it. Alright, the next one I have is The Violent Season by Sarah Walters. In the town of Wolfridge, people like to hurt one another. This is what happened in Wolfridge. Every November, we were haunted by images and dreams of murdering strangers and friends and ourselves. Everyone knew it was real, but everyone pretended it wasn't. Every November, the people in Wolfridge are overwhelmed with a hunger for violence. At least that's the town's rumor. Last fall, Wyatt Green's mother was brutally murdered adding another name to a long list of November deaths, and convincing Wyatt that this year isn't morbid urban legend, but rather than passable force infecting her neighbors. This November, Wyatt fears the call of the violence has spread to her best friend Cash, who also happens to be the boy she can't stop wanting, no matter how much he hurts her. And it doesn't help that she's drawn to the object of Cash's anger, Porter dolls. When she starts to pull away from Cash and spends more time with Porter, she learns secrets about both that she can't forget. Now that sounds super good as well. I haven't really heard a whole lot of people talking about in much of these books. Maybe a few of them, but not all the ones that I'm excited to get to for this spooky season / fall time. Alright, another one I have is called Leech by Heron Ennis. I think I'm gonna probably be butchering a lot of these names, but I'm sorry, but I do my best that I can. In an isolated cache as far north as north goes, the Barnes doctor has died. The doctor's replacement has a mystery to solve, discovering how the Institute lost track of one of its many bodies. For hundreds of years, the Interprovincial Medical Institute has grown by taking root in young minds and shaping them into doctors, replacing every human practitioner of medicine. The Institute is here to help humanity, to cure and to cut, to cradle and to protect the species from the apocalyptical horrors their ancestors unleashed. And that's Bleach, which sounds super good in my opinion. Meet the cure for the human disease. Why are we like this? We may never know. Alright, this next one I have is How to Survive Your Murder by Danielle Valentine. Again, another book I haven't heard too many people talk about, but I don't want to get into a whole lot of this either because I like to go into my books pretty blind, as most of us here do. But we shall read what it says on the back instead of on the front, because sometimes I like the back more than I like the front. But that's just me. Rule number 1. Never go into the corn maze alone. Rule number 2. Nothing good happens on Halloween. Rule number 3. Never be distracted by a hot bad boy. Rule number 4. Don't die this time. Ooh, that gives me chills. Oh, I really need to get to it. And I found my receipt for when I bought it too. Last October 2022. That's not iconic at all. Wow. Okay. If that's not a sign to read it for this October, I don't know what is. Alright, another one I also had the e-book of it, but I wanted the physical thing so I could like tap it if I wanted to. But that is A Sign Here by Claudia Lux. Like I said, I've heard a little bit of people talking about it. a darkly humorous, surprisingly poignant, and utterly oh, well, we don't read about. Never mind. Scratch that beginning. Alright. Pete Tripp has a pretty good gig in the deals department on the 5th floor of hell. Sure, none of the pens work. The coffee machine has been out of order for a century, and the only drink on offer is Jack Monsieur, but Pay has a plan, and all he needs is one last member of the Harrison family to sell their soul. When the Harrisons retreat to the family lake house for the summer with their daughter Mickey's precious new friend Ruth in tow. The opportunity Pay has waited a millennium for might finally be in his grasp. And with the help of his charismatic co-worker Calamity, he sets a plan in motion. And that's all I really want to know about Sign here. But it kind of reminds me of like a Supernatural episode where Pay is Crowley and he's just trying to get someone to join him in hell. That's what this one is, the vibes is giving me. I could be completely wrong, but for some odd reason when I think of this, I think of Supernatural and I think of Crowley. Sue me. But don't really sue me, but that's where my mind goes. It goes a lot of places. Alright, the next book I have is 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph. 1 killer, 13 victims, 1 million views. You have to murder at least 3 people to be called a serial killer. The Magpie Man is looking for his 14th victim. Huh. Spooky. When Jess was 7, her mother was murdered by the Magpie Man. She was the first of his victims, but not the last. 10 years later, the killer is still at large, and Jess applies to appear on the internet reality show in which she'll be filmed once a week for a whole day. All her social media, every text, and personal interaction will be seen by the viewers. She knows this is her chance to remind the public of what she has lost and to finally find the vital clue that will lead her to her mother's killer. When the show starts airing, Jess becomes public property, and her life is an open book, just waiting to be read. And then the anonymous text messages start, and Jess begins to realize that the Magpie Man is watching her every move. Girl, what are you doing? Well, that sounds really good as well. Alright. Another one I have is called The Rising Horseman by Serena Valentino. Beware the Horseman. 200th anniversary of the Headless Horseman's legendary haunting of Sleepy Hollow is approaching. But Cat Van Tassel wants nothing to do with the town's superstitious celebrations. As a descendant of the original Katrina Van Tassel, Cat knows she's expected to live up to her ancestors' legacy by someday marrying her longtime boyfriend and running the Precious family estate. But Cat dreams of a life outside of Sleepy Hollow. And then Cat meets Isadore, a new girl in town who challenges Cat to re-examine those expectations, open her eyes to the possibilities that ghosts are real, and makes her question who she truly wants to be and be with. And that is The Rising the Horseman. Like, this cover is just everything. Every family has skeletons. Cats just happen to be headless. Okay. That's fun. Alright, another book I have is called Curses by Leash McBride. When did this bad boy come out? I know it's been a hot minute. Okay, it came out in 2021. I think I've seen it around a little bit on YouTube, but not very many people talking about it. A run-in with the fairy godling at her betrothal ball left Meredith Craven with more than any fairy-born novel could want: wealth, intelligence, and the kind of beastly visage that makes children weep. Now, Meredith has until her 18th birthday to break the fairy's curse. And every day she loses a little more of herself to the animal she's become. All because she picked one unsuitable boy. Tevin Demont has nothing except a fairy gift of a charm, an unexpectedly handsome face, and two siblings he's trying desperately to protect. As the oldest son in a family of con artists, he's learned how to use what he has to his best advantage. He'll do anything to keep his siblings safe. So when his mother runs afoul of the beast of cavern, Tevin doesn't think twice. He'll pay his mother's the bet, even if that means taking her place. Okay, so that's kind of reminding me of a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I kind of like that. I really do. Alright, another one I've been reading a little bit into. I just really need to finish it. I guess I'm waiting for spooky season to hopefully try to finish it, which is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. High school sophomore Abby and Gretchen have been best friends since the 4th grade, but after an evening of skinny dipping goes disastrously wrong, Gretchen begins to act different. She's moody, she's irritable, and bizarre incidents keep happening whenever she's nearby. Abby's investigation leads her to some startling discoveries, and by the time the story reaches its terrifying conclusion, the fate of Abby and Gretchen will be determined by a single question. Is their friendship powerful enough to beat the devil? We shall see. Alright. Another book I picked up, it looks kind of spooky, so we'll see if it actually is spooky. If it's not, oh well, we're still reading in September and October, and that is Mother Thing by Annalise Hogarth. She's dead in the basement, and she's refusing to leave. When Ralph and Albie Lamb move in with Ralph's mother, Laura, Abby hopes it's just what she and her mother-in-law need to finally connect. After a traumatic childhood, Abby is desperate for a mother figure, especially now that she and Ralph are trying to become parents themselves. Abby just has so much love to give to Ralph, to Laura, and to Mrs. Bondi, her favorite resident at the long-term care home where she works. But Laura isn't interested in bonding with her daughter-in-law. She is venomous and cruel, especially to Abby. Her ghost starts to haunt Abby and Ralph in very different ways. Ralph is plunged into depression, and Abby is terrorized by a force intent on destroying everything she loves. To make it matters worse, Mrs. Bondi's daughter is threatening to move her from the care home, leaving Abby totally alone. With everything on the line, Abby comes up with a chilling plan that will allow her to keep Mrs. Bondi, rescue Ralph from his tortured mind, and break Laura's hold on the family for good. All it requires is a little individuality and a lot of determination and a unique recipe for a chicken LA King. And that is a Mother Thing. Alright, another one I've been a little bit into as well. I just, again, keep picking up books, setting them down, and that one is The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. Delaney always talked to the dark. She never expected it to talk back. Delaney is tired of being seen as a fragile just because she's deaf. When she's accepted into a prestigious program that trains students to slip between parallel worlds, she is excited for the chance to prove herself. But her semester gets off to a rocky start as she faces professors who won't accommodate her disability and a prestigious upperclassmen fascinated by Delaney's unusual talents. Colton died when he was 9 years old. He woke several weeks later at the feet of a green-eyed little girl. Now, 12 years later, Delaney stumbled back into his orbit, but Colton's been ordered to keep far away from the new girl, and the voices she hears calling to her from the shadows. Delaney wants to keep her distance from Colton. She seems to be the only person on campus who finds him more arrogant than charming. Yet after a student turns up dead, she and Colton are forced to form a tenancy alliance. But Delaney and Colton discover the cost of opening the doors between worlds when they find themselves up against something old and nameless, an enemy they need to destroy before it tears them and their forbidden partnership apart. And that is The Whispering Dark. Oh, like I said, why are we like this? We may never know. Needed a quick drink. Alright, another book I haven't seen around on YouTube, and it just recently came out, and that is Riley Sager's new book, The Only One Left, which I'm super excited to get to this one, and The House Across the Lake. I also want to put on my spooky TBR. I don't have it on the bed, but I do have it on the bookshelf that I want to get to, as well as this one. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. At 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope. Now, reduced to a schoolyard chant, the Hope family murders shocked the Maine coast one bloody night in 1929. While most people assumed 17-year-old Lenora was responsible, the police were never able to prove it. Other than her denial after the killings, she has never spoken publicly about that night, nor has she set foot outside Hope's End, the cliffside mansion where the massacre occurred. Stabbed her father with a knife, took her mother's happy life. It's now 1983. A home health addict, Kit McDree, arrives at the decaying Hope's End to Hope's End to care for Lenora after her previous nurse fled in the middle of the night. In her 70s and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora was rendered mute by a series of strokes and can only communicate with Kit by tapping out sentences on a old typewriter. One night, Lenora uses it to make a translating offer. I want to tell you everything. It wasn't me, Lenora said, but she's the only one not dead. As Kit helps Lenora write about the events leading to the Hope's family massacre, it becomes clear there's more to the tale than people know. But the new details about her predecessor's capture come to light. Kit starts to suspect Lenora might not be telling the complete truth, and that the seemingly harmless woman in her care could be far more dangerous than she first thought. Sounds spooky to me. Alright, another book I have recently picked up is called The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I could be completely butchering that, and I'm so sorry. One for... why am I saying that? Never mind. Alicia Brennison's life is seemingly perfect until one night when her husband Gabriel returns home late from work and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face and then never speaks another word. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any kind of explanation turns a Dominic tragedy into a mystery that captures the public imagination. And she is the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids at the Grove, a secure psychiatric unit in North London. Criminal physiotherapist Theo Faber is captivated by Alicia's story and jumps at the opportunity to work with her. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband will take him down a path more unexpected and more terrifying than he ever imagined. Now that sounds good as well. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more books we need to talk about, and then that's going to wrap up today's video, you guys. It's crazy, but we love it. Alright, another book I have here is called The Heartwood Box by Anne Aguirre. In this tiny, terrifying town, the lost are never found. There are no murders on the books. No suicides either. They write in the paper that this is the safest town in New York State. But here, people just vanish. Their bodies are never found. Now that sounds super good to me as well. Alright, the next one I have is She is Haunting by Trang Thang Tran. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Again, I apologize. I do my very best. Alright. This house eats and is eaten. When Jade Meglin arrives in Vietnam to visit her estranged father, she has one goal: survive 5 weeks pretending to be a happy family in the French colonial house Ba is restoring. She's always lied to fit in. So, if she's straight enough, Vietnamese enough, American enough, she can get out with the college money he promised. But the house has other plans. Night after night, Jade wakes up paralyzed. The walls exude a thrumming sound while bugs leave their legs and feelers in places they don't belong. She finds the curious traces of her ancestors in the gardens they once tended, and at night Jade can't ignore the ghost of a beautiful bride who leaves cryptic warnings: don't eat. Neither Ba nor her sweet sister Lily believe anything strange is happening. With the help from a delinquent girl, Jade tries to expose the house's rotten appetite. A home, after all, is only as powerful as those who breathe in new life into its bones, and this one is determined to never to be abandoned again. And that is She is a Haunting. I've also seen this a little bit around on YouTube, but not a whole lot either. Alright, these last two I have, I also haven't seen a whole lot of people talk about as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and quickly mention them before we go. Alright, this next one I have is How to Succeed in Witchcraft by Ashlyn Brockhuffy. People already think I'm cheating to be good at the things I'm good at. But I can't be bad at stuff. I have to be the best. I have to be the best a million times over so people will acknowledge me. No more playing by the spell book. Shay Johnson has all the makings to a successful witch. As a junior at T.K. Anderson Magical Magnet School, she's set on winning the Rockton Scholarship, her ticket into the university of her dreams. Her competition, Anna freaking Alvarez. The key to victory, impressing Mr. B, drama teacher, and the head of the scholarship committee. When Mr. B asks Shay to star in this year's excessively inclusive musical, she warily agrees, even though she'll have to put up with Anna playing the other lead. But in rehearsals, Shay realizes Anna is not the despicable witch she thought. Perhaps she could be a friend. One more. And Shay could use someone in her corner once she becomes the target of Mr. B's unwanted attention. When Shay learns she's not the first witch to experience his inappropriate behavior, she must decide if she'll come forward. But can she speak out when her future's on the line? And that's how to succeed in witchcraft. That sounds super good too. And the teacher sounds completely messed up. We'll just say that now. Alright, this last book I have is called The Deaths by Nicole L'Esperance. What the island wants, the island gets. Italy Island should be a paradise, but to Addie Spencer, it's more like a prison. Forced to tag along to the remote island on her mother's honeymoon, Addie isn't thrilled about being trapped there for 2 weeks. The island is stunning, with its secluded beaches and forests full of white flowers, but there's something eerie about the place. After Addie meets an enigmatic boy on the beach, all the flowers start turning pink. The island loves you, he tells her, but she can't stop sleepwalking at night. The birds keep calling her name, and there's a strange little girl in the woods who wants to play hide and seek. When Addie learns about 2 sisters who died on the island centuries ago, she wonders if there's more to this place. Things only she can see. Beneath the gorgeous surface, Ely Island is hiding dark, tangled secrets, and if Addie doesn't unravel them soon, the island might not never let her go. And that is The Depths. Alright, you guys, there you have it. Those are some of the books I am hoping to get to towards this fall, this spooky season. Yes, I have a lot more I want to get to, but this is just going to make this video super long, so I only grab the ones that I want to try to somewhat focus on. The other ones, if I can get to them all this year, that'd be great. If I can't, it's completely fine. But those are the main ones that, like I said, that I wanted to talk about today, so hopefully you guys get some more recommendations from this video. So go ahead and give a smash that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already, and comment the skull emoji down in the comments, and let me know if you guys have read any of these, which ones do you think I should try to get to first, and I will hopefully see you guys in another video soon. Bye guys.